The state forcibly assigned a husband to the girl. She thought it would be a wild boar, but it turned out to be a young beast with steel abs. But he didn't imagine that. The lapdog that last night asked him for hugs was actually the cold and authoritarian first federal commander. The girl froze upon hearing him, deceiving the commander of the empire and having relations with him. She had even already thought about where she wanted him buried. It turns out that in the interstellar year 3021, humanity had already moved to other planets, entering the interstellar era. With the changes in the survival environment, among ordinary people evolved individuals with animal characteristics, the beast men. But due to the increasing scarcity of pure-blooded humans, federal law stipulates pure-blooded women must marry before the age of 18. Otherwise, the system will randomly assign them a spouse. It could be a long-legged appa with steel abs. It could be a little boar. As a noble young lady of District 3, Su-won has never had to worry about this. Until her wedding day, the groom suddenly disappeared. Her mother reassures her, telling her not to worry. He surely didn't stand you up on purpose, or maybe he had a traffic accident on the way and got run over. But Su-won frowned. A bad premonition washed over her. At that moment, her AI assistant, Xiaobai, issued an alert. It was an unusual call from her fiancé as soon as she answered the phone. From the other side, she only received a barrage of apologies. "I'm sorry, Xiaowan. Xiaowan's ship had an accident in Zone 7. I have to go rescue him immediately." Su-won felt a moment of disbelief. "Did you forget that in a few hours it's my 18th birthday? If you don't come back, they'll forcibly assign someone to me." But the bad boy didn't care at all. He even blamed her for being immature. "Xiaoman is your sister. Do you want me to watch her suffer and do nothing? How can you be so selfish?" With that, he cut off the communication. Mom defends him, again for Su-won. "I should never have let your father adopt him." Su-won looked at the bride in the mirror. She felt very ironic. All of this is truly a coincidence. When she was 13 years old, the ship she was traveling on was attacked. Severely injured, she spent 5 years in a cryogenic chamber. Everyone had given him up for lost. Only his mother believed he would wake up. But when she woke up again, she discovered she had an adopted sister. This girl is very cunning. Her father treats her as if she were his own daughter. Even her 2 brothers treat her like a blood sister. She wants to snatch everything from Su-won. Now, not even her fiancé leaves her in peace. "If you two liked each other, you should have said so before. It's not like I'm crazy about that jerk. But it's almost 12. I have to go out and find a handsome man to marry." She doesn't want to wait for a surprise. The husband tells everyone that the wedding is still on. "Mom, help me attend to the guests in the party hall. I'll be out for a moment and be right back." The mother anxiously asks what she is going to do now. Su-won turns and smiles softly. "Of course, I'm going to look for a new fiancé." He, holding his skirt, looked around the hall. Suddenly, something furry whizzed by. "Wait, I think I saw something strange." She took 2 steps back and then came face to face with an adorable beast man-like creature. His jet black hair and ruby blue eyes. He was simply perfect for her taste. The beast man's ears twitched slightly. In an instant, Su-won's heart was about to melt with tenderness. "How adorable! I want to pet him. Who are you? Why haven't I ever seen you before?" The puppy showed shyness, spoke slowly. "Eju, they call me Eju." As he spoke, he wagged his tail from side to side, gently brushing Su-won's feet. "Is this how beast men express their affection?" She pondered for a moment. Although that furry and fluffy tail and ears are very cute, it seems he's nothing more than a minor. What a pity the urgent thing is to find a man soon and get married. Su-won lifts her skirt to leave, but the next second, Eju stops her. The little puppy blinks, looking at her. "Where are you going?" Su-won gently rubs his little head. "Sister is in a hurry to find someone to marry. I'll play with you again later." "Yes, older sister, don't go." The appearance of a helpless and hurt puppy melted Su-won's heart. Who would dare to leave? "Too bad you're not of age yet. Otherwise, your elder sister might ask you for help to get married." Upon hearing that, Eju's eyes widened. "Elder sister, I am of age? I should be 40 years old." Su-won, upon hearing that, giggled. "With that adorable little face, 14 would suit you better." "Well then, show me your optic brain, little brother. If you're of age, help me celebrate this wedding." Eju extended his hand, dropping his optic brain. "Sister, see if it's here." But, without knowing why, his brain screen was full of random characters. He couldn't see his personal information. But luckily, the marriage application page was clear. It really could be applied for. Su-wan thought for a moment. Perhaps they could get married first. If Eju regretted it later, they could annul the marriage. If he wanted to, she could also keep it. After all, such a handsome and adorable boy, who could resist? At that moment, the sound of footsteps was heard behind him. It was the mother and sister of her fiancé. She quickly hid Eju. She whispered to him not to speak yet. Huo Haozhao was full of malicious glee. My brother still hasn't arrived. What are we going to do about this wedding? Huo's mother, feigning concern, takes Xiaowen's hand. Wait a little longer. He's sure to be back soon. But Su-wan knows very well if Huo Chang really wanted to come back, he should already be in Zone 3, but he isn't. So she had the other party return to the banquet hall first and promised that the wedding would proceed as planned. After seeing off the mother and daughter of the family, Xiao Bai reminded her that time was running out. After all, reviewing the marriage application also takes time. At that moment, Eju appeared from behind, wagging his tail with a face full of pick me expressions. So what if Eju married his sister? Will Eju's family object? The puppy had an angry expression. They wouldn't dare. Su-wan let out a long sigh. All right, Eju, marry your sister. They both scanned their brains and sent the marriage application. Only a ding was heard. The marriage application has already been submitted. The central system will review it in 1 hour. Afterwards, we'll have the ceremony. Come with me, darling. I'll find you a suit to change into. She hadn't noticed when she was crouching down. Now that he stands up, she realizes how adorable this boy is, how tall and sturdy he is. Time is pressing. There's no time for a custom-made suit. I can only make him wear this formal suit for now. Ju, you've already changed your clothes the instant she opened the door. Su-wan was dazzled by the young man before her, that well-proportioned figure, and those muscles about to burst. Seeing Su-wan, he unconsciously swallowed. Sorry, Eju, this dress is for humans, so you have to tuck in your tail to be able to put it on. With that, he directly touched it. His furry tail was soft and comfortable. Eju timidly took her hand. Sister, I can do it myself. It must be known that his tail is his sensitive area. Su-wan blushed. I'm so sorry, although touching your tail at first is a bit impolite, but the truth is, it felt really good. So she simply went out to wait outside, looking through the large window towards the street. Streets and alleys, they still have the photo of her wedding with Huo Yichang hanging. Now that I think about it, it's ironic. Sister, what are you thinking about? Just as Su-wan turns around, she sees Eju changed. She didn't expect that the crying puppy from before could be so handsome that it was impossible to look away. She is lovingly fixing Eju's clothes. Sister Lin was thinking, the main system, why hasn't it approved our marriage application yet? Meanwhile, Bai Zhe, from the main system, receives the request. He feels like his CPU is about to burn out. Due to the special identity of the applicants, his high intelligence prevents him from deciding on his own. I had no choice but to send a request to the Emperor of the Empire for his approval. But at that moment, the Emperor of the Federation, Jiyu Zilan, was extremely annoyed. Yesterday, Jiyu Ju had just reorganized the Great Saint at the edge of interstellar space. Today, he disappeared on his return journey. It must be noted that he was not only the god of war of the Federal Empire, but also his uncle, Jiyu Zilan. Upon learning that Jiyu Ju's mask had been found in the third zone, immediately he ordered the blockade of the third zone. We have to find Commander Jiyu Ju. Furthermore, this must be done secretly. We cannot allow the information to leak. Because my uncle is going through a manic episode, he is very weak. If someone with bad intentions discovers him, the consequences would be disastrous. After hanging up, he rubbed his forehead, unconsciously, due to his physical condition. He spent many years in a cultivation capsule. Until Jiyu Zilan was born, only then did his situation improve. He should have stopped him at that time. He should have let others deal with the insectoids. Just as he was frustrated, the system sent him a message. Your Majesty, the main system Bai Zhe has sent a marriage application. He wanted to ask for your approval. Muzilan was furious upon hearing that. Bai Zhe, since when am I unable to process a marriage application? Tell him to do everything according to the rules. Don't bother me with these things. On the other hand, Bai Zhe received the order and approved the application immediately. These are the Emperor's words. I only comply with the rules. The rest is outside my system. Barely had Bai Zhe given his consent. The computers of both received a message. Marriage application approved. Su-wan, excited, took Eju's arm. A Jew, we are now husband and wife. Just when the atmosphere was getting tense, the dressing room door burst open. Shawan, it's already 11. Your father says we should cancel the wedding. Who is this guy? Seeing them embracing, Mom felt her brain couldn't process anymore. Soo-won hugged a Jew tighter. He is now my husband. I'll explain the rest later. The guests are waiting. Let's finish the ceremony first. She pulls a Jew to go out, but suddenly her face changes. Jew, you're sick, your hand is very hot. At that moment, Mom reminds Soo-won. He will be in his regression phase. As beastmen are a regression, they experience a regression phase every year. During this period, their consciousness weakens and they feel insecure. When the regression phase ends, beastmen also forget this period. Normally, the partner of a beastman can alleviate the regression phase. If you don't have a partner, you need an exclusive potion. Your elder brother is also a beast man. He surely has an exclusive potion. Soo-won, ask Mom to get it for you. Let the two of them proceed with the wedding protocol first. Meanwhile, at the banquet, everyone is waiting to see Soo-won's spectacle. It's already this late. Why haven't the bride and groom appeared? I heard the groom has fled. The Soo family will lose face today. The father has a gloomy face. He believes his daughter has made him look ridiculous. Soo-yoon, the eldest son, whispers to his father, "Hold on a little longer. There are many important people here today." Grandpa and the elders are also watching from below. Soo-jin suppressed his anger. He was about to speak to end this farce. But the next second, the hall door opened, and with the music, Soo-won walked out on a Jew's arm. "I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Let the wedding begin now." Everyone present was dumbfounded. Who is this man? He's very handsome. The Hyo family didn't imagine that Soo-won would actually change grooms at the last minute. But Soo-won doesn't care. She can feel a Jew's body getting hotter and hotter. "A Jew, can you hold on?" "I'm fine, sister." Although he says so, the cold sweat on his forehead doesn't deceive Soo-won. "Presenter, please simplify the process. Go directly to the last step." The presenter looks very innocent, but he has no choice but to nod obediently. Groom wants to take Miss Soo-won as his wife. "Yes, I do. Bride wants to marry the..." The presenter froze instantly. No one told me the groom's name. Luckily, Soo-won reacted quickly, tiptoed, and wrapped her arms around a Jew's neck. "I do." A Jew merely straightened up a little and immediately leaned down to kiss the corner of her lips. The wedding ended, and the two immediately returned to the dressing room. A Jew was becoming increasingly restless. Soo-won quickly sent a message to hurry her mother. At that moment, Xiaobai reminded his owner. Actually, you could also make his exclusive potion. Soo-won still didn't understand his meaning when a large furry tail wrapped around her waist. A Jew pulled hard, and she fell abruptly into a burning embrace. "Sister, I feel really bad." "Quiet, a Jew. Your special medicine will arrive right away." But a Jew couldn't hear anything now. Soo-in got up to see where her mother was. The next instant, a Jew tightened his embrace. His agitated breathing could be felt behind her. "Sister, promise me you'll never leave me." "I can't promise you that. After all, he's a groom," she grabbed on the fly. Perhaps after creating expectations, he'll be the one who wants to leave. Soo-won was about to explain when a Jew suddenly moved closer and caressed the corner of her lips. Her cheeks instantly flushed red. At that moment, she understood what Xiaobai meant by specialized medicine. She turned her head and saw a Jew's suffering expression. His beautiful eyes were clouded with moisture. Such adorable suffering. The young Soo-won's heart, almost like a puppy's, was about to melt. He struggled to convince himself that a Jew had helped him, that he was now only returning the favor, that he was not coveting the other's beauty. On the other hand, Sue's mother gets the medicine and prepares to return. Just as she's leaving, Sue's furious father stops her. "What's going on? How come they changed Shawan's groom at the last minute? Who is that man?" Sue's mother answered vaguely. After all, he didn't know the specific situation either. Now asking her to clarify things, "This girl is making a mess. How am I going to explain this to the Hyo family? Why do we have to give them explanations?" It's clear that Hyo defaulted first. This is about business between two families. You know nothing. You've also spoiled Shawan. If only she were half as sensible as Xiaomon. Today wouldn't have been so embarrassing. Sue's mother was furious upon hearing him. On top of everything, you're ashamed. But have you thought about how Shawan feels? Today's situation is Suman's fault, and you still have the nerve to ask Shawan to learn from her. I'm going to ask you one thing. You're so good to Suman. Could it be that she's your real daughter? It seems a secret has been discovered. Sufu's face turns horribly fierce. After a loud slap, the entire hall instantly fell silent, but right after hitting her, he regretted it. Manhwa, it wasn't my intention. By now, his mother is completely disappointed in him. I see I was right, wasn't I? Very well, Su-Zhen. Wait to receive my divorce papers. After his mother left, the eldest son, Su-Yun, approached. 2 VIP guests from District 1 are leaving. Grandpa asked us to accompany the guests to the door. So now the Federation is divided into 10 districts. One of the zones has a particularly illustrious identity. Before leaving, the 2 nobles felt some curiosity. The groom from before looks familiar. He's from your Zone 3. Sufu felt a tightness in his chest. How was he supposed to know which zone that person was from? However, just as they were about to leave, they suddenly received a secret order from His Majesty. Search for Commander-in-Chief Ji-Yu plays in Zone 3 ultra-secret mission level. The next morning, Su-Wan woke up from hunger. Upon just waking up, she was a little dazed. But the next second, she discovered an arm across her waist and a large tail tangled around her ankle. Memories of the previous night flooded her mind. Then she realized she was already married. Su-Wan tried to remove Aju's hand, but since they were already married, she accidentally activated Aju's quantum computer. Instantly, a large number of messages flooded the screen. The person who sent the most messages was named Ji-Yu Xiaolin. Uncle, are you all right? Where are you now? Uncle, Aju is from such an older generation. The name Ji-Yu Xiaolin rings a bell. Before she could react, Aju's computer made a sudden sound. Madam, good morning. My name is Bai Hu. You can call me Dabai. Ji-Yu Xiaolin is the name of the emperor of our federation. In theory, his name should not be mentioned directly, but you can, because since yesterday, he is also your nephew, okay? So, wait, what did you just say? Su-Wan felt like her brain couldn't process anymore. Aju was the commander-in-chief of the Federation and also His Majesty's blood-related uncle. She could even imagine tomorrow's headline. Shocking! The commander-in-chief of the Federation unexpectedly loses his virginity, victim of an evil girl who tricked him into marrying and sleeping with her. At that moment, she even thought about where they would bury him after he died. Xiao Bai helped me find out how many years in prison they give in the Federal Empire for marriage fraud. About 60 years, Su-Wan was terrified. Terrified, she grabbed her clothes and ran away without hesitation. Meanwhile, Ji-Yu Ju, who was asleep, frowned. In a dream, he was standing in front of a huge billboard looking at the wedding photo in front of him. His mood became incredibly complex. Suddenly, a large number of memories flooded his mind. The girl in the photo was identical to the person he met in the ancient land. Arriving home, Su-Wan still couldn't understand it. That cold man who always wore a silver mask. Commander. How can he be the same person as the adorable Aju? They have completely different styles. Seeing Su-Wan so broken, her mother felt very guilty. It's all my fault. Yesterday, in my anger, I only thought about getting a divorce and forgot to give you your special medicine. Get a divorce. Out of the blue you want to divorce me. Su's mother, with a gloomy face. Your father is too partial to Su-Man. He also says you're immature. I really couldn't take it anymore. I asked him who his real daughter was. He got furious and hit me. Su-Wan comforts her mother. Don't worry, Su-Man took a DNA test. It's impossible for her to be from the Su family, but we can't allow anyone to hit you. The next time he throws you out, use the mecha and bomb him. Her mother laughed with him. Afterwards, she remembered the important topic. Right, Xiaowan, who was the one who married you yesterday? Upon learning that it was the first commander, her mother was also stunned. Then why did you dare to argue with him last night? Who would have known? He just picked up a random orc. He didn't expect him to be a big shot. His back still hurts. Mother is even more curious. What did he say to you when he woke up? Was he angry with you? Su-Wan, with a guilty face, said, I don't know, I ran away before he woke up. Just like that, so carelessly, then there are problems. Although transformed beings forget what happened upon waking, what was expected. But the marital bond doesn't lie. Sooner or later, he will find you. By the way, I hope the commander doesn't hold a grudge against the Su family for this. What do we do? Maybe I should apologize first. So she gathered her courage and prepared to send a message to Guoju. Commander, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have dragged you into marriage impulsively. No. Saying it like that is too direct. Last night, I didn't do it on purpose, you just looked really bad, so I deigned to help you relieve it a little. This doesn't work either. Directly telling the boss what bothers him is asking for death. After going back and forth for a good while, she still didn't know how to say goodbye. Ji-Yu-Ju, on the other hand, had just woken up and discovered that there was no one beside him. The computer Bai-Hu reminds him that his wife has left, but right now she is sending him a message. He noticed that his wife had been typing for a long time. It seemed she was going to send him a small essay, so he waited silently for 2.5 minutes. The character she was writing suddenly disappeared. She didn't send him even a punctuation mark. Bai-Hu awkwardly explains that maybe Madam is a little shy. Ji-Yu-Ju concealed the imperceptible cold glint in his eyes. 10 minutes later, I want to see His Majesty. The ship quickly landed at the palace. By then, Ji-Yu-Ju had already put on his military uniform. His image was completely different from the tender one before. Ji-Yu-Xilan, worried about his uncle, hadn't slept all night. Are you all right? What exactly happened? I was injured on the way back after eliminating the Zerg. My ship also accidentally crashed, but I'm fine now. I'm glad you're all right, Uncle. I was worried something had happened to you. Ji-Yu-Xilan just breathed a sigh of relief. But then Ji-Yu-Ju asked to connect with the main brain, Bai-Zi. Last night, you were the one who approved my marriage application. Bai-Zi waved his hands innocently. His Majesty ordered me to approve it. Ji-Yu-Xilan spat out a mouthful of salt water. After receiving the request last night, I consulted with His Majesty immediately. His Majesty told me to proceed according to the rules. According to the rules. The commander and miss meet the requirements, so I immediately gave them the green light. Ji-Yu-Xilan coughed lightly, a little awkwardly. Right now, I'll ask Bai-Zi to cancel it, and then I'll go explain to Miss that it's not necessary. Ji-Yu-Xilan became interested upon hearing that. It's not necessary to explain, or not necessary to divorce? Could it be that Uncle is very happy with this marriage? Before he could ask, Gio felt his quantum computer suddenly send him a message. An interstellar thief has been detected in District 3. They need you to go immediately. So he had to quickly head to Chamber District 3. Watching his uncle's figure walking away, Ji-Yu-Xilan smiled. This is getting more and more interesting. Who could have made Uncle fall in love? So he ordered the computer to send me all the information on that lady. Meanwhile, Su-Wan was chatting with her mother. Suddenly, her second brother entered the door. He said Grandpa wanted to talk to them. The two walked towards the study. Her second brother's tone was full of reproach. It's all your fault. Now Mom and Dad are going to get divorced. What does that have to do with me? Su-Wan said coldly. Why don't you blame Huo Yishang and Su-Man? Xiaoman had the car accident because she was in a hurry to attend the wedding. If it weren't for Huo Yichang saving her, she might have died. Su-Han didn't want to listen to those excuses anymore. Only this idiot of a second brother would believe it. At that moment, a honeyed voice was heard behind them. Second brother. Sister, please don't argue. It's all my fault. The newcomer was the vixen Xiaoman. Su-Man leaned on a crutch, feigning a pitiful expression. Suni ran to help her, worried. Xiaoman, how can you be walking around when you're injured? I'm fine, brother. There are some things I want to talk to my sister about alone. After seeing off the blonde, the manipulator cried inconsolably. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me, sister. I only hope you won't be angry with Voss. Seeing her exaggerated performance, Su-Wan felt immediate boredom. Xiaoman, you smell something strange. Su-Wan approached her and sniffed. It's a very strong tea aroma, but well, I still have to thank you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have found true love, because Huo Yichang didn't come. I had to find someone else to marry, and I coincidentally met the man of my life. He's the most handsome man I've ever seen. Compared to Huo Yichang, he's much taller, more handsome, and richer. And the most important thing is incredible in bed. All this thanks to you, my dear little sister. The little girl was shocked. Sister, what are you saying? Weren't you supposed to love brother Huo? Besides, if you two don't get married, it would affect the businesses of the Su and Huo families, right? As you think, Shaman. I still have you, as long as you offer yourself in marriage. To repay Huo Yichang's life debt, our two families can still marry to maintain the relationship. Doesn't kill two birds with one stone. The vixen is completely terrified. This is not how she imagined it. All this farce she put on with so much effort. Why didn't So-Wan insult him like a scorned woman? Instead, her tone is so calm. Although she is not satisfied, now she can only look for an excuse to leave. Sister, weren't you going to look for Grandpa? Then I won't bother you. Su-won pretended to leave in terror. A flash of contempt appeared in her eyes. She can't take it anymore. With that level, she intends to compete with me. Meanwhile, Grandpa was looking through a cookbook from the ancient land. Seeing Su-won enter, he carefully put things away. Like that only you, where is that boy last night? He had to leave early. Although Su-won didn't want to deceive her grandfather, the marriage will probably dissolve soon. It's better to keep a Jew's identity a secret from her grandfather for now. Last night was an emergency situation. If it hadn't been for him, I would have been randomly assigned a partner. And if they assign me a wild boar and I don't like it. Su-won muttered to herself, although I like this one, it's a pity I can't afford him. Seeing that he still didn't reveal the other person's identity, Grandpa still believed it was a Jew. His identity was not presentable. My dear Grandpa, how do I explain it to you? If he coughed just once, our restaurant would collapse. Grandpa Su, I already understand that blind trust. No problem, our Su family can support him. Grandpa, you have too much confidence. No matter how much money the Su family has, we... F.T. Erwards. Grandpa returned to the main topic. Actually, this time I came to talk to you about the branch in the 1st District. It's the largest branch of the Su family. Your father wants Su-man to take over, but your grandfather sees you in a better light. After all, this restaurant belongs to the Su family. Su-won understood instantly. Grandpa, rest assured. If the branch in the 1st District is given to me, I won't let you down. After returning to her room, Su-won let out a long sigh. She already knew her father was biased, but luckily her grandfather was on her side. Soon after, he and Su-man would go to study at the Imperial University. They also needed to prepare the matter of the branch in Zone 1 in advance. Suddenly, she remembered Grandpa was looking at a cookbook from the ancient Earth today. Although it was incomplete and a collage, it was an invaluable treasure in this world. It turns out that in the interstellar era there was a food shortage, and most people could only live on nutrients. Fresh dishes were a luxury that only the rich could afford. And the 5 years that Su-won spent unconscious in the cryogenic chamber, her soul unexpectedly traveled to a family of chefs on Earth. The recipes recorded in this cookbook are not even a small part of the dishes she learned on Earth, but she hasn't told anyone about this. At that moment, Hyo Yi-chang suddenly calls her. Su-won didn't even think about it and hung up directly. Damn it, my eyesight failed me. I saw something disgusting. But the harassing messages didn't stop. With no other choice, Su-won had to give in. As soon as she answered the phone, the channel already asked her why she was marrying another man. Su-won laughed out of indignation. Why did I marry another? You have no idea. I have my reasons. It was my fault for not coming home that day. Divorce that man. I won't reject you. Suddenly, I feel like I've gone deaf. What a thick face. You're crazy/A, what's wrong with you? You were the one who ran away from the wedding. You were the one who made me feel shame and humiliation. And now you dare to come and ask me. If you don't reject me, I will reject you. If you want to get married, look for Su-man. After saying that, she hung up furiously. But the next second, the phone rang again. Su-won answered and started shouting at Huo Cheng. You have no shame. You stood me up for Su-man, and now you come crawling back to find me. What? Do you intend to have us all and marry us? They were silent for 2.5 seconds. A cold, deep voice was heard from the other side of the phone. Who wants to have you all? Wait. That voice is Su-won's, damn it! She glanced at her computer. Seeing the name on the screen, she was stunned. What's shown above is her husband, whom she barely knows, Ji Ju. Ji Ju. She pronounced his name with doubt. The young woman stood firm immediately. Sir! She shouted loudly. She turned around and realized why she was so nervous. He can't see Commander Ji Ju. I'm very sorry about last night. If you don't want to, we can divorce immediately. As for what happened to you. She didn't finish speaking when the interrupted dial tone was already heard from the other side. And Xiaobai, with his petulant tone, reminded me that the master had already hung up. I know, and master, what is that? Change it immediately. He didn't give up and sent another paragraph, but after waiting a long time, he only received a, let's talk in person. Please, we are in the interstellar era. What needs to be said in person? It seems he's determined to embarrass me. Afterwards, no matter how many messages she sent him, the other person never replied. It seems this interview is inevitable. But Suwan didn't care about that. Now she had more important things in her life. Whether it was the Imperial University or the branch in District 1, there was much to prepare. Suwan was checking the list of ingredients when her father suddenly entered. "Xiao Wan, Dad wants to talk to you. Why don't you want to forgive Huo Yichang? He didn't miss that day on purpose, it was your fault. The Huo family is reconsidering our collaboration." Suwan, upon hearing this, played the victim. "Dad, you misunderstand me. I did it for Xiaoman's sake. Don't you realize? If Xiaoman and Huo Yichang are made for each other, I married anyone just so they could be together." Su Fu was stunned. Does she really like Xiaoman? Of course, before, Xiaoman always kept her feelings hidden. But when he is in danger, Huo Yichang can leave everything to save him. This is simply true love reciprocated. I've understood it too. If Xiaoman marries Huo Yichang, she will marry for love. And it will also maintain the relationship between the two families. It doesn't matter if I'm an embarrassment and suffer grievances. Who cares if Xiaoman is my dearest sister? Does Su Fu seem regretful? It seems Dad misjudged you. Right now, I'm going to talk to the Huo family, yes. Yes, go quickly, don't affect our family's business. It would be best to directly decide on their wedding. And then we notify Xiaoman. She will surely cry with joy. After seeing off her father, Suman arrived at the study. She asked Xiaobai to guard the door, not to let anyone in, so that they wouldn't bother her. After opening the door, there was a small, secret kitchen. The tools and ingredients were complete. Prepare the transmission equipment and the voice changer, and Suwan began her food broadcast today. As soon as she connected, comments flooded the screen. Food God Husband is finally streaming. What delicacy will husband prepare today? Today, he is going to prepare sweet and sour fish, because many fish from the ancient earth have become extinct. He had no choice but to choose another fish. He did it with impressive fluency. He immediately prepared a fish. Meanwhile, Ji Yuju was in the office. Suddenly, he heard Bai Hu swallow. It turns out he is also a foodie fanatic, although he is only a system that cannot eat, but even through the screen, it looks delicious to him. Ji Yuju told him to lower his voice, that if he made strange noises again, he would shut him down. Bai Hu made a victimized face. He couldn't make little noises with his mouth if he didn't eat. He was curious about the true identity of the god of cooking, so he contacted Bai Zi directly. He asked him to help investigate. The streamer's name was Su Wan. The data shows that she is Commander Ji Yuju's wife. Bai Hu was stunned. Shit. It's Madam, the gastronomic streamer I just talked about, the one who cooks so deliciously. It's Madam Su Wan. Ji Yuju, upon hearing this, immediately became interested, so he asked him to show him the live broadcast. Although her face couldn't be seen in the image, Ji Yuju recognized her immediately. In the live broadcast, some fans were curious, who is this food for? Of course, it's for my family. Bai Hu was excited to hear that. Madam, you cook so well. Master, you will be very lucky in the future. The corner of Ji Yuju's lips rose slightly. What is the most expensive gift that can be given in the live broadcast? It's a luxury spaceship worth $1,000 new dollars. And the next second, Suwan's live broadcast was filled with messages. Thank you, Mr. Lang, for sending. Mid-sentence, Suwan was stunned. Where did this tycoon come from? Never in my life had I seen so many spaceships. To show her gratitude, she decided to give this dish to Mr. Len. The followers of the live stream were drooling. Everyone begged her to open a restaurant. In fact, that was Suwan's ultimate goal. She had been broadcasting live with the God of Cooking account for 2 years and had already accumulated 50 million followers. When she opens the restaurant in District 1, this will be her most powerful secret weapon. With it, she will compete for the management of the restaurant. Suwan asked Xiaoba to find Mr. Leng's address. He would prepare some dishes to send to him. After all, they had offered him too much. In the commander's residence, Ji Yuju watched the food in front of him, lost in thought. What fresh dishes! I had only seen them in my years of reincarnation in the ancient land. He added a piece and put it in his mouth. It tasted exactly the same as in the ancient land. That made him doubt Suwan. What relationship did she have with his former master? Seeing Ji Yuju eating so attentively, Bai Hu feels very proud. Now he will recognize me, right? He wants me to tell Madam that her cooking is wonderful. If Madam knew that you are Mr. Len, she would surely be very happy. Ji Yuju thinks for a moment. He remembers the divorce messages she sent him. His eyes suddenly darkened. I suppose he won't be happy. Even the white tiger is worried about him. So direct he is. Madam, there is only a small misunderstanding. After all, you haven't spoken to her yet, nor have you made it public. It is understandable that Madam feels insecure, you just have to explain it to her. Madam, the insurance will understand. The Su family garden the next day. Su's mother hums while arranging flowers. She seems in a very good mood. Something good has happened lately, Mom. You look very happy. Of course, I thought the commander would hold a grudge against you, abusing his power to suppress the Su family. Now that I see this, Mom can finally be at ease. Last night I listened to you and was completely confused. Mom, what are you talking about? Haven't you seen today's trending news? He, intrigued, opened his computer. Then he discovered that Ji Yuju was dominating all the headlines. The commander-in-chief of the Federation publicly removes his mask and announces it publicly with great fanfare. Su-won stares stunned at the trends. What could Ji Yuju mean by this? Doesn't the commander plan to divorce? Now, no information about you can be found on the internet. It must be that the commander is protecting you. He has deliberately controlled public opinion. But Su-won knows that this is only temporary. On the wedding day, many people saw Ji Yuju. It won't be long before the whole empire knows. It seems we have to think about countermeasures in advance. While the two were chatting, the little green vixen limped towards them. Mom, what are you doing? Xiaoman wants to join too. Lin Renyu frowned upon hearing this. Don't call me Mom, I'm not your mother. Always wanting to get involved in everything, no wonder you're limping. The little green vixen instantly transforms into an actress. How can you talk about my sister's wedding like that? Really, it wasn't my intention. I know Mom hates me. Just to make you feel better, I would even break my other leg for Xiaoman. Who's gonna break your legs? The scum's father suddenly appears behind Xiaoman. Why are you crying? Did someone do something to you? Before the little green vixen could open her mouth, Su-won silences her directly and firmly. No one is bothering Xiaoman. It's just that Mom was telling the story of when you two fell in love when you were young. Xiaoman was moved to tears listening. Su Zhen coughed lightly with discomfort. Never mind. Why tell the child that? All right, the food is ready. Let's eat together. Watching the despicable father walk away, Su-won frowned and warned the young woman. Xiaoman, you're so worried. Regardless of whether my parents divorce or not, your mother doesn't even think about stepping through the door of our Su family. It turns out she had already investigated. Su-man is actually the daughter of her father's ex and his old flame. 5 years ago, she committed a crime and was imprisoned. That's why he left her in the care of his ex. Seeing that her mother was about to get out of prison, she began planning how to make her mother the main mistress. Su-man, what kind of look is that? Sister, this is for your own good. Seeing Su Zheng turn to look at her, Su-man instantly hid her cold gaze. Thank you for your concern, sister. I was wrong. You must be hungry, and that's why you're thinking nonsense. Sister will take you to eat. Having said that, not caring about the little green tea's lame leg, she took her hand and ran towards the restaurant. Only a stronger tea can defeat a green tea. Walk the path of the green tea so that the green tea has no escape. Soon they arrive at the restaurant. The family appears harmonious and warm. But secretly, undercurrents flow. The little green tea discreetly pulls on her father's clothes. Su Zhen understands instantly. Right. Xiaoman and Xiaowan are about to start school. And the regional branch manager should also be decided, right? Grandpa had already seen through their thoughts. Neither of you has experience. Deciding now is a bit hasty. Xiaoman does have experience. These 2 years, she has been going to the store with me to learn. Having said that, he glanced at Su-won, who was beside him. Besides, Xiaowan's health has always been delicate. I don't want him to get tired either. Before Su-won could retort, her mother slammed her chopsticks on the table. Su-zhen, what do you mean by that? Su-won calmed her mother and seriously proposed to her grandfather. Why don't you let Xiaoman and I take charge at the same time? One goes to one branch and the other to another, both managing and learning from each other. In the end, we will decide who will manage the company based on performance. The old man nods in satisfaction. Xiaowan, this method is good, it's decided. On the other hand, the second brother Su doesn't care at all. He is only absorbed in the gossip headlines. Suddenly, his pupils dilate. Look at the familiar figure in the news. He feels his vision blurring. Dad, Mom, Look at the whole family. They followed the direction of his finger. They saw that the federal commander in the news was surprisingly similar to the man Su-won married. The family and Su felt their minds couldn't process anymore. Only Su-won, to the side, had a guilty expression on her face. Sister, the man who married you that day, could he be a relative of this important commander? Su-won looked at him disdainfully. He's not a relative. The interested girl breathed a sigh of relief. So they just look a little alike? It's not just that they look alike. You could be bolder in your guess. It's him. The interested girl turned pale instantly. Sister, you're not joking, are you? At that moment, Grandpa couldn't stay still either. Xiaowan, what the hell is going on? Duwan sighed and explained. It's not that Huo Yichang ran away that day. And just then I ran into the commander, we fell in love at first sight, and then we got married. She feels a little guilty. She can't say that she seduced him and took him away. Why didn't you tell me this before? Being so important, I have been negligent with the commander. Hopefully he won't be angry. Su-won waved her hand, indicating it was nothing. He had official business at that time, so he left early. We had arranged to meet in the first zone. The old man nodded with satisfaction. Right now, the branch in the first zone is also going to open. Classes start in 2 days. We will accompany you. By the way, I will also visit him. The commander's mother hurried to apologize for him. Su-yun will pick him up at school then. Besides, the commander might not have time, right? Su-won said this and signaled Su-man. Go back to your room first. Leave this to Mom. Su-won mentally gave her mother a thumbs up. As always, Mom is reliable. While walking back to her room, her brain notified her of an incoming video call from Huo Yichang. The scoundrel interrogated her as soon as he started. I've seen the news. Did you really marry Commander Ji-yu? What about our engagement? Su-won only thought this guy was very annoying. Of course, womanizers have no brains. Just as she was about to hang up, he threatened her with the business relationship between the two families. Do you know what? In the interstellar era, fresh fruits and vegetables are scarce. Without the Huo family providing fresh ingredients, how will the Su family maintain their restaurant? Su-won didn't feel like listening to his nonsense. She hung up the phone without another word. Her husband is the commander-in-chief of the Federation. Although the Wu family wouldn't dare to cut off the supply, it was better to be prepared. It was evident that the Wu family's ambition was growing. Letting Huo Yichang cause trouble at the wedding was their way of testing the Su family's limits. At that moment, the small computer reminds me that a transport ship belonging to the Wu family was once robbed by an important figure who helped the Soki family solve the ingredient problem. I only remember that he worked in the palace. Although I don't know why he helped the Su family, I can try to contact him. At that moment, Ji-yu-ju felt in the office, how is the control of public opinion on the net going? Subordinate reports urgently. Don't worry, sir. Public opinion is already under control. There are currently no unfavorable comments towards Miss Su. But Ji-yu-ju didn't seem satisfied with his answer. He immediately reminded him coldly, in the future, call her Madam. At that moment, the computer Bai-hu came out to remind his owner. You left a backup communication line for the Su family. Madam is calling. She won't realize that you have been helping the Su family. Duke Ji-yu straightened his clothes. Then he told Bai-hu to connect the communication, but without projection. Su-won's soft voice was heard on the other side. Hello, this is Su-won from the Su family restaurant. Thank you very much for your previous help to the Su family restaurant. Looking at his wife's obedient appearance in the projection, Ji-yu-ju rejoiced silently. It was a simple help. I also love the food from the Su restaurant. Your help has been of great use to us. We are just about to open a branch in your area. Whenever you want, the Su restaurant will welcome you. Seeing that they weren't projecting on the screen in front, Su-won thought that important figures were more cautious. But why does that voice sound familiar? By the way, what should I call you? You can call me Mr. Ji-yu. So, Mr. Ji-yu, do you know Commander Ji-yu-ju? Almost without hesitation, Ji-yu-ju immediately denied it. This made the intelligent Su-won suspicious. Bai-hu, on the side, grew impatient. Master, you answered too quickly. You don't know the Interstellar Supreme Commander? Incredible. Ji-yu-ju hurried to correct himself. What I meant is, I don't know him very well. Su-won finally breathed a sigh of relief. Hearing his voice, she almost thought it was Ji-yu-ju on the other side. And Ji-yu-ju also avoided the topic. Ask her if she called because she has any problems. If the Su family's ingredient supply is having problems, of course if it's not convenient for you. Before she finished her request, the other party agreed without hesitation. I can help you. Seemingly not expecting the other party to be so direct, Su-won felt surprise and joy at the same time. Really, thank you very much, Mr. Ji-yu. If you don't mind, I will give you the hotel details now. Ji-yu-ju looked at his wife on the screen, a smile on his lips. Until Bai-hu reminded him, and he reluctantly returned from his reverie. Here, Su-won heard that he had a meeting to attend and also said goodbye to the other contact. After hanging up, Bai-hu joked with his master. You never used to lie before, but you lied to Madam several times. Ji-yu-ju lowered his gaze. It seems he fears that if he tells the truth, she won't talk to him for so long. But master, why did you help the Su family back then? And why did you bother to leave a false identity? Ji-yu-ju didn't answer human affairs? Your system shouldn't interfere. It is precisely because of the master's attitude of selective indifference that Madam prefers to chat with strangers rather than reply to your messages. Master, now that I think about it, it seems Bai-hu feels some sympathy for the commander again. Finally, the day of the opening of classes at the Imperial University arrived. Her older brother, Su-yun, had been waiting for her early at the university entrance as president of the Military Academy Student Council. His dream was to join the First Fleet of Grand General Ji-yu, but he never imagined. Ji-yu, the commander, became my brother-in-law overnight. My roommate is more anxious than I am. I heard both your sisters are very beautiful. Do they have boyfriends? Su-yun looked at him coldly. My sister is already married. While a spacecraft landed at the school entrance, Su-won, in a bold girl's outfit, stepped out of the cabin. She attracted the attention of all the older students wherever she went. Compared to Su-won's experience, Su-man, who was behind her, paled in comparison. My roommate was going crazy. Why didn't you tell me before that you had such a beautiful sister? Is she really married so young? I haven't studied much, but don't fool me. Su-yun ignored his excited roommate, heading directly towards the two girls. If it had been before, the first thing he would have cared about would have been Su-man. But this time he ignored the little manipulator approaching him and went directly towards Su-wan. Why haven't you answered my calls? Su-wan's answer was very evasive, probably because she had received too many annoying calls lately, so she simply blocked them all. Seeing that there were many people here and it was difficult to ask in detail, Su-yun looked for a way to mislead his roommate, Mo Erduo. Take my sister to the Faculty of Letters first. Mo Erduo's eyes lit up. He headed directly towards Su-wan, but had barely taken a step when Su-yun stopped him. Shao-wan is in the Faculty of Medicine. Shao-man is the one studying in the Faculty of Letters. Instantly, the light in Mo Erduo's eyes disappeared. His face darkened. Visibly, Su-man had an expression of disbelief. But to maintain her pure girl image, even though she was very angry, she had no choice but to leave obediently with Mo Erduo, while Su-wan showed an expression of disdain. She hadn't noticed before. Look at this girl. What a hard life she already has. After misleading the two, the older brother asks Shao-wan in a low voice, the person you married that day wasn't the commander, was it? So that's all you were asking, and that's why you abandoned your dear sister. Su-yun wasn't angry at his teasing. Shao-man is very considerate. I won't get angry about that, but if it really is the commander, shouldn't we pay him a visit? As always, you only think about connections. You only remember your sister when it suits you. He had no choice but to use the same old speech. A Jew is short on time lately. We'll talk about this later. All right, we've arrived at the residence. If you don't need anything, go up. The university residence consists of 3-bedroom apartments and a living room. The living room is a common area. Each room has its own bathroom, but Su-wan doesn't care about that. She is only worried about her other 2 roommates. What kind of people will they be? Su-wan was about to open the door, but the door opened from the inside before she could do so. A girl with curly red hair came out to meet her. Su-wan greeted her. Hello, I'm Su-wan from the Faculty of Medicine. The other girl looked at her with a frown, wondering which zone she was from. Upon learning that Su-wan was from District 3, the girl maintained her arrogant expression. She didn't even say goodbye to Suwon. She simply left the dormitory. Suwon wasn't angry. After all, the Imperial University is the most important federal institution of higher education. It is full of talented people. Her roommate must have a very high status. At that moment, another roommate came out. Her name is Luo Jina. She is a native of District 1. Her sister is Her Majesty the Queen. I see, with that identity, she has the right to be arrogant. Before, perhaps she would have been surprised, but now she is completely desensitized. After all, her husband is the first commander of the Empire. The short-haired girl with glasses is called Sheng An from District 10, the lowest. I thought she would mind her humble origins, but unexpectedly, Suwon was kind to him. My name is Suwon, from District 3. Seeing Suwon's calmness, Sheng An himself was a little surprised. Aren't you surprised about my humble origins? Yes, I am a little surprised, but not because of your origins. It's because you are very good. That you arrived here from District 10 with the worst education means that you have worked hard and are excellent. Suwon's words made Sheng An sob. As a commoner from District 10, it's the first time someone has praised me like this. Thank you, Suwon. I'm going to my room to tidy up. Tomorrow is the opening ceremony. Remember to rest early. Soon the next day arrived. Suwon arrived early at the auditorium for the opening ceremony. The ceremony is about to begin. But Luong, her roommate, hasn't arrived yet. Although he left home very early, Suwon is considering whether to go look for him. But upon getting up, she sees Huo Yinchang approaching. What a coincidence. If yesterday was the start of the course for Xiao Wan, why didn't I see you? Before her ex-husband could exchange a few words of courtesy, suddenly, an impatient voice is heard behind them. You're in my way. This is my seat. You've been here for a while, looking suspicious. This is the girls' area. Are you a girl? This tough girl really knows how to treat people. Even Suwon saw it with satisfaction. Thank you for earlier. The tough girl maintained her arrogant expression. I wasn't helping you. Suwon, with an impressive presence, and the tough girl are sitting in the front row, causing many boys in the back to whisper. The one who smiles so beautifully is Suwon, from the Su family. It is said that the redhead beside her is the Empress's sister. Of course, there are also those who mock her origins in the slums of St. Anne. Last night, I sensed his unease. So, affectionately, I took her hand to change the subject. Right, St. Anne. I want to make a small kitchen in a corner of the residence's common room. Would you mind? The food in the dining hall is really awful. If there was a kitchen, I could cook myself. Sheng An's eyes widened in surprise. Of course, I don't mind. After all, I used to live on nutrient liquid. I had almost never seen cooking. The tough girl next to her was also drawn into the conversation. You know how to cook, but I warn you, if you cook badly, I will have the kitchen demolished immediately. Suwon nods, smiling. Miss clearly agreed, but still has to speak so arrogantly. At that moment, Sheng An pulled on Suwon's sleeve. Xiaowan, look how handsome the one on stage is. But Suwon froze as she looked up, because the one on stage was precisely her husband, with whom she didn't have much of a relationship. Instantly, the crowd erupted in shouts, although the Imperial University invites Ji Yuju every year. This is the first time he has attended. Suwon went blank. What? What is happening? He won't be coming for me. She forced herself to think that it didn't matter. Anyway, there are so many people down here, he surely won't notice me. However, as soon as she looked up, her eyes met Ji Yuju's, that calm gaze. Suwon only wanted to die at that very instant. No, I've been discovered with this innocent face. At that moment, her central computer received a message. It was Ji Yuju asking her to meet him after the ceremony. Suwon gathered her courage. Anyway, there are things that sooner or later she would have to face. The commander's time is valuable. Surely he came to get a divorce too, if she showed a good attitude of repentance. I hope they don't put me in jail for 500 years. After the ceremony, Suwon went alone to Ji Yuju's exclusive air vehicle. Ji Yuju was lying on the seat, resting, and had returned to his beast-man form. Suwon was momentarily stunned. Who would have thought that the commander, so distant normally, is so adorable when he sleeps? Clearly, they don't look alike at all. Especially those furry ears of his. She hasn't stopped thinking about them since that day. They are so soft, I'm dying to touch them. If I touch his ears while he's sleeping, surely nothing will happen. Suwon was about to reach out her hand when she met Ji Yuju's gaze. Commander, you're awake. Damn it, I almost touched him. Ji-Yu-Ju nods curiously. Am I that terrifying? Su-won quickly shakes her hand. It's not fear, it's respect. I've been quiet for a long time. Ji-Yu-Ju speaks slowly at last. So, when I was going through my difficult period, you respected me too? Su-won starts to panic upon hearing that. He's going to demand an explanation so soon. You don't remember anything that happened that night? I only remember that you were the one who proposed to me. So, Commander, have you come to talk to me about divorce? Ji-Yu-Ju shuddered slightly. Who said I want a divorce? Su-won was completely stunned. So you haven't come to divorce me? Will our marital relationship continue? Ji-Yu-Ju nods seriously. At that moment, the intelligent brain reminds its owner. You have an appointment with His Majesty this afternoon. You should depart now. Su-won feels relieved, about to leave. But Ji-Yu-Ju coldly stops her. You're coming too. Su-won was so frightened that her eyes widened. Zilin said he hasn't seen you. It's a good opportunity for you to meet. And, by the way, he'll give you a red envelope. Su-won, stunned, with an expression of total bewilderment. Do I look like I need that red envelope? A moment later, they both arrived at the palace. Su-won is still very nervous. Why do I feel so nervous? As if I'm going to meet my in-laws. She stealthily approaches Ji-Yu-Ju's ear. If His Majesty asks us about us, what should I say? Ji-Yu-Ju replies calmly, the truth. Because I was afraid they would force you to marry, so I married you, the one I fell in love with at first sight. Ji-Yu-Ju paused. Just say the second half. At that moment, a voice heard behind them. What secrets are you lovebirds whispering behind our backs? The newcomer was the Emperor of the Federation, Ji-Yu Zilan. They come from the Federation University. Ji-Yu-Ju replied with a cold yes. Then, pointing to Su-won beside him, he called her Aunt. Su-won was petrified. The supersaturation left her speechless. Luckily, the Empress came to my rescue. Aunt, what are you studying? My little sister, Regina, is also new to the Imperial University. She's in medicine. I also study medicine, and it happens that I'm in the same dormitory as Regina. Su-won couldn't help but admire the Empress's sweetness and her undeniable beauty. Meanwhile, Ji-Yu-Ju looked coldly at Ji-Yu Zilan. Have you forgotten something? Ji-Yu Zilan, with a bewildered face, replied, No, are you sure? The nephew finally understood. Right, Aunt, this is my welcome gift. Su-won shyly looked at Ji-Yu-Ju, who only accepted the gift after she felt him nod. It's this feeling. Why do I have the feeling that I can only take something if the adult agrees? Su-won opened the box curiously. Inside was a newly built private controller. Driving it means that no one in the Federation will dare to stop you. Su-won suddenly shone with enthusiasm. That means I'll be able to travel the universe. Of course, my older brother and the others are traveling, but he might be quite busy lately. Su-won, upon hearing that, rolled her eyes. I didn't say I was going with you, while the other two seemed to be delighted. A moment later, on the way back, Su-won suddenly feels warmth on her waist, looks down and sees a large, furry tail. Commander, what's wrong with you? Ji-Yu-Ju's breathing becomes heavy. But hadn't his heat period already passed this year? She was about to ask White Tiger for the sterilization medicine, when Ji-Yu-Ju collapsed into her arms. At that moment, White Tiger came out to explain, My master is not like other hybrids. The heat period for common hybrids is once a year, but for my master it is once a month. Once a month? Su-won opened her eyes in surprise. My period isn't as punctual as his, and his exclusive potion. Since the last time he mated with you, no other exclusive potion works. Su-won understood. Ji-Yu-Ju doesn't want a divorce. Could it be that he considers me his long-term exclusive potion? It seems I won't be able to rest tonight either. She decided to check the Ju family residence first. She would send them a message later. Quickly arrived at Ji-Yu-Ju's mansion. The enormous room seemed strangely silent. She helped him sit on the sofa, was about to turn around when he stopped her, before Su-won could react. The next second, a warm sensation covered her mouth. At that moment, the crying little cub reappeared. Sister, don't go! Su-won had to calm him down. Okay, I'm not leaving. So, sister, you're kissing me to scare me. Although she doesn't want to maintain this medicinal relationship with Ji-Yu-Ju. Who could resist this little cub? The next scene goes by too quickly. So as not to make you dizzy, we'll skip it. When he opens his eyes again, It's already the next day. Soo-won jumped out of bed with a start. Not there. She's gonna be late for class. She doesn't want to lose credits on the first day. Luckily, Ji-Yoo-ju prepared the fastest vehicle. This allowed her to arrive at school on time. All because of Ji-Yoo-ju, who this time was worse than before. Simply inhuman. Soo-won had just entered the classroom when the little green tea stopped her sister. "You're finally back. Last night I went to the residence and you weren't there. They thought that if I didn't come back, they would start spreading rumors about me. How hypocritical. What trap are they setting for me? Sister, how much you missed me. I really worry about you. Dad said we should go to the restaurant after class, but there's only one hovercraft, so let's go together." Soo-won didn't reply, but returned directly to her seat. The two roommates were very worried. "Soo-won, are you okay? Yesterday your sister came to the dormitory looking for you. I told her you had something to do, but he kept asking where you had gone." Soo-won waved her hand, indicating it was nothing. "Anyway, she's not my blood sister." At that moment, Regina, who was to the side, suddenly interrupted. "Soo-won, my sister says you are Commander Ji-Yoo-ju's wife. Is that true?" Soo-won felt serious. "Anyway, sooner or later everyone will find out. Better to admit it openly." At that moment, the two people on the other side were shocked. "And how did you two meet?" Soo-won smiled mischievously. Of course, it was love at first sight. After class, Soo-won was about to return to the hotel with her mother, but then Luo-jina informed her that Soo-min had left just a few minutes ago. They weren't surprised by the result. After all, he knew his mother very well. On the other hand, Huo Yi-chang eavesdropped on their conversation, thinking it was a good opportunity to win back Soo-won. But just as he was about to get up and follow them, a strange object flew in front of his eyes. Saw the white tiger fly in front of Soo-won. "Madam, I came to pick you up. Wherever you want to go, I'll take you." And then he looked at Huo Yi-chang, that idiot, with a sinister expression. "I recorded everything. If you dare to bother my wife, I'll kill you." On the other hand, Ji-Yoo-ju was holding a military meeting when Bai-hu hurriedly arrived to report. "Master, this little idiot wants to steal your wife." In an instant, Ji-Yoo-ju's face darkened terribly. 5-minute break. "I have a personal matter to attend to." My subordinates were so scared that they didn't dare to breathe. At this point, who would dare to send me a message? It could only be the commander's mysterious wife, right? Soo-won was surprised to see Tu Ying's call. That, before Bai-hu said, "You want me to move in with you?" Ji-Yoo-ju nods seriously. "We're married. Living together is normal. If you need to, you can stay at the residence from time to time." "But, Commander Ji-Yoo-ju, you didn't agree to the divorce, and now you want me to move there. Is it because of your repentance period?" Although he is largely to blame for this marriage, future things must be clear. She didn't want to become someone's personal pharmacist without any say, without waiting for a response. The projection suddenly cut off after a sputter. Soo-won was stunned. She asked Bai-hu hurriedly what had happened. Bai-hu, with a face of disbelief, said, "Don't tell me that my master pretended the connection dropped. He was the one who gave excuses to Soo-won. There might have been interference from other signals. That's why the communication was cut off." Soo-won knew it was an excuse that he called after the meeting. He quickly arrived at the Soo family restaurant. Bai-hu asked Soo-won when he would go to pick him up. Soo-won shook her hand. "Wait for your commander to contact you." Meanwhile, in the restaurant, Soo-man is serving tea to the elders. At that moment, Soo-won entered the room. Seeing her father's long face, she knew that Soo-man had already complained. "Little Wan, didn't I tell you to come after school? Why are you so late? And where were you last night? You didn't come back all night. With such a carefree attitude, how am I going to trust you to leave you the branch?" Soo-won spoke coldly. "Xiaoman, not only did you not wait for me after class, but you also rushed to harass me. But are you sure you want to know where I was last night?" The second uncle, beside him, said impatiently, "Xiaowan, say it if you have something to say. What's going on? Is it something that we elders can't know?" Soo-won smiled and spoke slowly. "Last night I went to the palace with the commander to see His Majesty." Upon saying this, everyone was stunned. Only the patriarch continued to drink tea calmly. "Grandpa, His Majesty asked me to say hello to you, and they also said they would like to try your dishes." The old man was very happy. "I didn't expect His Majesty to remember me. I suppose the royal family will also be paying attention to the branch opening." That being the case, Let Shaowen organize the opening ceremony. The Viper was seething with rage. Suwon's marriage to the commander must have a hidden agenda. How could he be willing to introduce her to His Majesty? If my sister presides over the opening, surely my brother-in-law will come. No, Suwon gave her a malicious smile. What's wrong, Xiaoman? Why are you so interested in my brother-in-law? On the other side, Ji Ju finished his meeting for the day. The first thing he did was ask if Suwon had returned home today. Bai Hu, somewhat embarrassed, said, Madam instructed me that if you don't answer communications, she won't let me pick you up. Ji Ju was very puzzled. She doesn't want to move here. Madam probably thinks you don't want a divorce, and that you want her to be your exclusive pharmacist. Master, you have to learn to please your wife. If you don't explain, I'm afraid there will be a misunderstanding. Then he suggested to Ji Ju to ask His Majesty. After all, he has been married for many years. He must have experience in this. Ji Ju looked at him coldly. Dabai quickly changed his mind and explained. You also don't have to say it directly. You can say you have a friend. Sure enough, quickly, Ji Zelen received the message. I have a friend who fought with his wife. What should he do if his wife doesn't come home? Ji Zelan understood instantly. He fought with his aunt so quickly. Actually, pleasing a woman is very simple. Give her flowers, give her beautiful clothes, and if it doesn't work, forcibly kiss her. Ji Ju looked at him with an incredulous expression. Even Dabai thought it was really unreliable. On the other hand, Suwon, to prepare for the opening, was busy until night. She reviewed all the procedures. Then she stretched with relief. In addition, the tastes of the residents of the first zone must be investigated. The menu price must also be set. At that moment, Suman approached her sister with feigned kindness. It must be quite complicated to open the business, right? Do you want me to help you with anything? Seeing him approach, Suwon quickly turned off the computer. If you want to see the information, you can say it directly. You don't have to be so sneaky. Seeing the other person's frankness, Suman also stopped pretending. It's nothing more than because of grandfather's support. If the opening ceremony goes wrong, no one will be able to protect you. I am more suitable than you to be the manager of this branch. You know how hard I have worked all these years. While you have only been in a nutrition capsule or convalescing, what do you dare to compare yourself to me with? So flattering the Su family everywhere is your effort. It's because your mother is coming back. That's why you're starting to get desperate. The vixen's face turned ugly. How did she know my mother would be released from prison? Don't even use my mother as an excuse. We'll just see if we can invite Commander Ji to the opening day. And I almost forgot. Dad wanted me to marry Wu's older brother, but I refused. Anyway, I never liked him. But I wanted to use him to confront you. How do you feel now that you know the truth? I don't feel anything. But someone is going to suffer soon. You don't believe me. Having said that, she looked behind Suman. Suman turned around and saw Huo Yichang looking at her in astonishment, with a bouquet of roses in his arms. Huo Gege, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know? Huo Yichang pushed him. Tell me the truth. What exactly happened to your aircraft that day? I have always considered you my little sister. I didn't expect you to do this. You two continue with your conversation. I have something to do. I'm leaving. Su Wan was about to leave. But Huo Yichang stopped her. Xiaowan, I came looking for you. I really like you. I want to marry you. Back then, I was also deceived. Xiaowan, you'll understand me, right? Give me another chance. I will definitely treat you even better. Su Wan slapped away the flowers he offered her. What makes you so humble? It seems the Guo family has lost quite a bit lately. But right now, I'm not interested in understanding it. I only need to understand my husband. Is that right? Commander Ji Ju. Commander Ji Ju. Hui Cheng turned around and discovered that the commander was standing behind him with a serious face. And in his arms, he held a bouquet larger than himself. More vibrant roses.